That's clearance. Have a great show.
Hiya.
Hello. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you.
I mean, it's not actually New Year for us. It's, we're pretending. The magic of theatre. The magic of podcasts.
And the big screen / small screen.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm pretty good.
Yeah?
I've
to?
got two questions actually for you.
Okay.
Okay, fine. One is relevant
Okay.
to a sort of like...
Just ask him and I'll just answer him and we'll see what happens.
Okay, I love this. Right. So first thing, what have you been up to since I last saw you?
Since you last saw me, I've been pretty stressed, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I've been I feel like I said this on a previous episode, I'm still repainting the roof of my boat, which in this weather is terrible because I've basically got this massive tarp over the back of my boat and the wind is lashing down and the rain and I'm just like inside this tiny little tent essentially like with a paintbrush like just trying to like paint it and make it look nice. This is the time of year where we should all be hibernating, but because we're all trying to get to a point where we can put everything down, it gets really intense just before Christmas and then like drops down. But this is going out in New Year, so New Year me will be like relaxed, I'm hoping. Imagine if I'm not, that would just be like, I'll be really sad.
I mean, mine won't be. My New Year's.
What's your New Year's looking like?
New Year is because it's my birthday. It's my son's birthday.
Fine.
And because he turns 3 as well, which then starts opening a load of doors for things like his he'll like move into the next stage of like his swimming, which opens up a load of new things for like his sort of like teaching lessons. Yeah. He starts Young Company here at
He's not!
Yes!
Oh my God! I didn't realise they could start that young.
Yeah, but he'll start Young Company at 3.
That's tiny. Because I feel like when I first started Young Company, I started as a teenager, but you couldn't start till you were like 6 or 8. Yeah. So that's crazy that they can start at 3.
Yeah.
Is he excited? Does he understand what's happened? Does
he understands what shows are. Yeah.
Well,
so,
of course.
Yeah. So he so last night he regularly each day he likes to put on a show. So sometimes he'll put on a show whilst we're eating dinner. But last night he put on a show before bed. Okay. So
and what was it about?
So Amy and I had to sit at the end of the bed as the audience.
Of course.
And
he was like, this evening we'll be doing it in proscenium arch, end on.
Yeah, like. So he was his so for his show, he was naked.
Of course.
He had a sort of like a bookmark, which is like in the shape of a dragon, which he was sort of like swinging around his head whilst he was sort of like making random noises, but then interspersing it with various songs from Frozen and then a few other sort of like other
high quality
other
art
musicals
here.
as well. Yeah. And then he demanded that I do a show as well.
Okay.
I was not naked for my show.
Yeah, good. Yeah,
but I kind of corpsed, mainly because Amy and he were giving commentary. They were reviewers during my show.
Oh, excellent. But he didn't accept any reviews in his show. No, feedback allowed.
No feedback allowed.
Yeah, great.
But so I had feedback during my show.
Of course.
And I corpsed. So then Amy and he did a sort of a two-hander. And theirs was interpretive dance involving 2 coat hangers around the destabilisation of the capitalist markets.
I'm sorry. This is incredible. I'd love to. I think we need to see this. Like, this sounds
I mean, well, it involves my 3-year-old's naked body, so
yeah. Well, we could put clothes on the 3-year-old, like really.
Yeah. So so that was and then but I was funny enough. I was saying to Tom Brennan downstairs like about an hour ago, so I was telling him about it, that Tom's has perfected his bow. So like when you clap your hands, he has perfected his bow to the audience.
Oh my God.
It's like
You've
is tight.
Listen, he's the product of two theatre people.
That's exactly what Tom
There is
said, yeah.
no way he has any choice but to go into theatre. Yeah, I'm totally unsurprised.
We have created
Incredible.
what we
Created
didn't
a
want to
monster.
create.
Yeah. We wanted him to
create
have a
this.
stable job, maybe be, a rocket scientist, but instead...
Well, I mean, he can do whatever he wants to do, but
yeah, of course.
we've-
But, he can't do whatever he wants to do because you've made
I
him
mean, that's true.
into your image. That's incredible, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I
so-
love that.
Well,
Carry on.
so yeah, I was going to go into my second question to you.
Your second question.
Was what has been your creative highlight of 2025, either for yourself or something that you've seen?
So, did my first performance capture job. I started it in 2024, finished it in 2025, loved it, and have then consequently finished training in motion capture. So 2026, baby.
Yeah.
That's me rubbing my hands together, really hoping I get to do it because I love it. Like, it feels like... It's so interesting, though, because I started it after we had Jess on the podcast.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And so I wasn't that knowledgeable when she came on, but now I'm like, this is incredible. Like, I just love it so much. So that's been a highlight. I'm really struggling because my brain doesn't work when it's put on the spot.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. To be honest, this has been really incredible.
Yeah.
Because it's been really nice to be creating in a very different way to making theatre, which has been nice. And then literally today and yesterday, I've put the foundations in place to make 2 new shows for next year.
Yay!
So that's really nice
That's
because
cool.
I've been really scared to make work for a long time, since COVID, basically. And I just decided I don't want to be scared anymore. And it might take a while. It's a few ideas that have been brewing for a long time. So it's been like a long time coming. What about you?
So I think Pillar Man, directing Pillar Man was a big thing for me because that's just, it's a big play for me, and I just really like it, but it's as a casting for me, I've spoken about it before, but and I'm just really proud of what I achieved as a director. It's probably the best show that I've directed, as in it's the best piece of art that I've made.
Amazing.
I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the artwork I did. Really proud of I'm really proud of like the staging that the actors created, and the work that the actors created, and working with them was really amazing. Because what they produced was incredible, and to share the space with them was really proud moments. I'm just really happy that got made.
And also, what a nice way to end the year, because that was fairly recent.
Yeah, it was
It
November.
was like a month ago. Yeah. All right. Should
Cool.
we
Onto it.
get onto it? Let's do this.
This month's guest is a published poet, playwright and screenwriter. She's been an associate artist at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre, as well as a writer-resident at the University of Bristol's Theatre Collection, and a member of the creative leadership team at the Theatre Royal Plymouth. You may remember her as the writer of the stage play The Colour of Dinosaurs and the BBC radio drama Tribe of Two, and the writer and performer of the stage play Outlier. It's Malaika Kegode!
Hi. Thank you again so much for being here.
Thanks for coming.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah?
As we said earlier, it was a press night last night, so I'm a little bit delicate. I didn't even drink very much.
No.
Just being around lots of people and bright lights, and I get tired.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I relate to that quite hard, and I think we'll just take it slow today. We'll just take it calm.
Do you at press? Do you get? Well, I guess 2 questions. This one. Do you get invited to a lot of press nights?
I do. I get invited to the Bristol Vic press nights, which is nice. And I get invited to a few, and they're fun. It's always a fun vibe, but there's also that added networking thing.
Yeah.
Which is always a lot. But then once you're actually there, it's nice. It's like, oh, these are people that I really like talking to. Just busyness. I think because I come from quiet places, so very like quiet.
Yeah.
Let's take things slow.
Yeah.
First night, I think everybody sort of comes to them with this energy of like, what's going to happen? Who am I in this space?
Yeah.
And so it takes a little while to sort of come back down and just go, these are just people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
And
all like
it's
the same
work
thing.
as well, isn't it? It's like social, but
Yeah.
also work. So you also have to be like putting your best foot forward, but then it is a bunch of friends as well sometimes, and you'll be like, this is a weird balance to strike.
Because what happens to me a lot of the time in those settings where it's really busy, like parties and press nights, I'm like, oh, hi, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And then you just automatically go like, oh, what are you working on?
I know.
And it's like, I know this person. And if it was just me and you in any other space, we'd have a really nice conversation. But because so much is going on, everything leaves my head about like what we could talk about. So having the podcast means you always have a thing.
We have a focus. But then again, it's work again, isn't it? So it's like everyone's kind of like wanting to relax. But I guess also like, because one of the things that comes up a lot on the podcast is that people are like, I just want to not talk about my work. I want to talk about like personal and like how I am. And obviously there's a line with that depending on how well you know someone. But I guess it's kind of like, it's nice to have those spaces where it's a bit more social and a bit more like, how are you? How's it going? Whereas I think it does move into those realms of like, so what are you doing? What's happening? What's going on?
It feels like you're justifying yourself.
Your being, even though you're totally justified anyway.
It's a funny one. It's kind of the blessing and curse, isn't it, of what we do as creatives. It's like everything bleeds into everything else. It's not like you get to the end of the day and you're done. It's like you're an artist all the time. And it's a gorgeous thing because it means that you get to bring parts of yourself to work that other people don't get to. But also it means you can't shut it off.
100%. I think that actually leads quite nicely into, I wanted to talk about your work and how a lot of it has been quite autobiographical. Would you say that's fair? Because I guess because it comes from the spoken word space. And I just wondered, has it always been that way when you first discovered, because you started in spoken word, right? Has it always been that way? Like, I find it incredibly brave, and I'm often in awe of people who make autobiographical work. So I just wondered, like, where did that sense of strength come from? And like how come you've stayed in that space as well, I guess?
Thank you.
Not always, but
it's definitely where I started. And I think, so much spoken word is autobiographical. And I sort of came into spoken word because I loved music and I loved performing, but both of those worlds felt really impenetrable. But I started seeing poetry more at like festivals and things like that. And so often I think what really hooked me was seeing somebody kind of speaking in their own voice, their own experience. And growing up in Devon, I was like very lonely and didn't have many outlets for like who I was. It didn't really feel like anyone knew the real me in a way like loads of teenagers do, but I think it's compounded when you're in a small place where there aren't very many people. And so I just wrote lots of poetry in my room. I'd like hole up in my bedroom, be writing at 2 a.m. all my feelings and getting them out there, and found such catharsis in finding spaces where I could do that. And kind of like honing that gradually through spoken word, and you're there in yourself and you're telling your story in your words. Feels really empowering. And I think like when I continued on that path and continued with poetry and it became more of a career, it felt really difficult for me not to do it. It's funny, I find it interesting when people say like it's a brave thing to do, which is really generous and lovely, but I think I'm just a massive overshare.
Just like, it's happening, it's happening.
It's like I can't not. I'm just like, bleh. But what I've really found, especially through doing Outlier and a lot of the like facilitation work that I do, is that when you find a way of sharing something personal, something that you've lived through and experienced, you're not just doing it for yourself. Like you connect with people on this really different plane, where the things that might have been shameful or difficult or painful, like suddenly they're reflected back and you go, oh, you experience this too, and you come from somewhere so different from me. But it's that human connection. I think if you're open and vulnerable in a way that feels safe and feels held properly, you build community so quickly.
And how have you found a way to make the safe space? Like where was the first place you found as like that safe space? Obviously probably your bedroom, but like when you then sort of like brought it out of the bedroom, like where did you find those spaces?
It's definitely like a whole journey, because spoken word I think especially when I first started. So I first started doing like open mics and stuff in 2011, 2012.
Okay.
And it felt as though that's like this time and place of like Tumblr sad girl aesthetics.
Yeah.
I lived through that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so there was a lot of like painful, unsafe sharing at the beginning.
100%.
Lots of open mics where people are just like, here's my trauma, blah.
Yeah.
Uncontained.
Great. Everyone's just triggered in a room, just like
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
we're fine, right?
Exactly.
And you're like, no.
Like just splattered across the stage.
Yeah,
Like, here's
yeah.
all my pain. Take
Yeah.
it, take it, take it.
Yeah.
It validates me. So definitely at the beginning of that journey, there was a lot of that and a lot of just like getting wasted at poetry nights and spitting my guts, and the next day being like, whoa, what did I do?
Yeah.
And sometimes it was just feeling that and going, no.
Like, as in, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also I think a big part of it was I started running poetry events. So I started a night in Bristol called Milk Poetry, which is still running, which is like poetry slam.
Yeah.
And
At the Wardrobe,
featured
right?
acts. Yeah.
Yeah,
When we
great.
first started in 2015, it was at the Halo on Gloucester Road. Don't know if you remember that
Oh,
place.
no,
It's
I
gone
don't.
now. But it was like this pub halfway up Gloucester Road, like just up from the Gallimalfrey. But yeah, it was like a back room of a pub.
Yeah.
And seeing loads and loads and loads of poetry, meeting loads of poets from lots of different walks of life, just really helped me see like, okay, how did this person encapsulate this moment in their poetry without it veering into that?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
watching slams and open mics and being like, that felt uncomfortable for me. Why is it? And like just dissecting that and being like, I think so much of being an artist is borrowing things and observing things and going, okay, this person does this.
Yeah.
But I think so gradually through doing that, through holding space for other people, that then came back into my own practice as a poet and a performer. Like, okay, I observe this, so how is that going to change how I make?
Yeah.
And then moving into the facilitation world of like running workshops and stuff like that, a lot of the work that I do is with people who have lived experience of multiple difficulties. So like drug addiction, homelessness, alcoholism, abuse, and like learning trauma-informed practice.
Yeah.
And living in that world where I'm holding that space for other people to be able to explore autobiographical work, it always feeds back in.
Yeah.
Like everything is sort of cyclical.
Yeah,
You
100%
observe
agree.
that. And also, to be honest, doing Outlier and working with Jenny Davis, who's our director, and working with Lou Platt, who's artist wellbeing, just being like, okay, all of these things are really valid. We don't have to have all the answers. It's a constant learning.
Yeah.
I think that's, all those things sort of come together and sit in my head and my body to sort of figure out how to tell these stories autobiographically and how much to share, when to hold back. And this realization that truth isn't necessarily like all the facts. The emotional truth of something.
Yeah.
You're here and you're coming to this like piece of art, whatever it is that you're making, with the truth of your existence in your body. And that's enough. You don't need to be like on the 25th of September, 2014.
So wise.
I did this thing. Yeah.
So wise. I love that. That's amazing. I guess, so Outlier, was that the first step? Was that like your first big, excuse my ignorance, was that your first big like autobiographical gig theatre piece?
Yeah.
Amazing. So how did you step into gig? Like, where did that come from? Because it feels sort of parallel, but also like, were you just around a lot of musicians and you were like, maybe, or like, where did that come from?
Yeah. So what I really love about spoken word is it's like a constantly evolving thing.
Yeah.
And something that I always did in spoken word, because I loved theatre growing up, and I worked in theatres. I worked in box offices and bars and as an usher and stuff to see things. And I always like to bring in elements of theatre or elements of music into my poetry. Yeah. It just felt like natural to me that was my voice. I love how in poetry everyone brings like their little experiences, their little passions into each poem that they do. But music and the theatricality of performance always felt really like
innate.
Like part of what I wanted to bring to the stage and who I wanted to be on stage.
Great.
And in life, I guess. That started as just getting back picking tracks from YouTube and going like YouTube to MP3 converter. Giving USB sticks to the tech. And I'm like, oh God.
I used to do that for ringtones. I'd be like,
Still do it.
Yeah, great.
I remember like doing that and like had like a little USB stick, giving it to techs at gigs. They'd be like, oh God. Because usually at a spoken word gig, a tech just gets to sit there and adjust the gain. Yeah. Because no one
just
in poetry knows how to use a microphone.
Yeah.
But so music was really part of it. And then I saw Jacobol, who were the band.
Who were in
Outlier.
Okay. They're great.
Yeah, I saw them performing. I actually saw them performing at Sharp Teeth.
Oh,
do you remember Sharp Teeth?
Sharp Teeth.
Yeah, legendary night.
By Steph Kempson. What a legend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Steph Kempson.
Yeah. So I saw them performing, and I was like, "Whoa, I love what they're doing." And like, if you've seen the show, you know that that's kind of part of the show. Like, I saw them and met them at a time in my life where I was like very much full of grief and regret and strangeness. And so I saw them and I was like, there's something here that's really connecting with my brain right now. And I got in touch with them. I was like, I'd love to collaborate. But then a couple of years passed. So I met up with Marietta Kirkbride, who's a violinist in Jacobol and a playwright, to be like, oh, we should make something together. A couple of years passed, and then we started working together, and we did these like little music poetry hybrids, and we just did that at gig venues.
Great.
So we did it at Sharp Teeth for like a big Halloween edition. We also started working with Chris Harrison at the same time. So Chris Harrison did all the animations for Outlier, and so we started doing like,
so you do like mini bits together. Yeah, great.
Yeah, so it'd be like individual songs / poems.
Amazing.
And doing like gigs, went to like the Crofters Rides. And just gigging all over the place. And then it was Maz, I think, he was like, oh, we should try and make this into a bigger thing, like try and make a full show. And I was like, yeah, because there's a story that I feel like I've been trying to tell over and over again in my poetry, and working with the band and feeling so much part of that world and really held by them and really supported. Just finding really good collaborators. I was like, I think this might be the best way of telling the story that I want to tell. So we started working on it. We did like an R&D here in 2019, end of 2019, and then
so just before everything. But then, because I've been watching the recorded version of Outlier, which was here. So that was that one of the first things?
It was one of the first things afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of amazing that you managed to start just before and not finish, but kind of like get it up just after. So that's quite a quick timeline, because COVID felt like it halted so much for a long time. So that's like really incredible. Was that just through like persistence and just like, or was it like the Bristol Vic being like, we really want you to?
Yeah, a bit of both, I think. Yeah, it was this crazy time because we had our first R&D end of 2019. We did Ferment in 2020, early 2020.
Yeah.
So we did like 2 shows. We did one in the studio here. Yeah. Like a work in progress show. And then we did one at the Crofters Rides. And because we wanted to test it out. Like, does this work in a gig setting as well as a theatrical setting? Lots of learning from that. And we also did like a poetry event down in Plymouth. We like got in a van and tried it out. And it's funny because that poetry night that we did, that was like the final sharing. And I remember really distinctly the host kind of doing a little song about washing your hands, because it was at that point where it still felt like, oh, it'll blow over. It's just like a little tiny thing. It felt really exciting. It's like, oh, we've got this thing and people like it and they want to do it. And then suddenly, everything shut down.
But I guess, were you able to still keep developing it during COVID? Like, did you kind of do stuff over Zoom? Because it's not as, I mean, it's very theatrical in a sense, but like not in the same way. It's like much more, it feels like it would have been easier to develop.
Yeah, it's so, I'm trying to
not
remember
easy, sorry, but easier.
Yeah, because it's like different forms and worlds of it. So it had a kind of stop-starty thing. Yeah. Because the original script, the very first script for the first sharing, I wrote in Edinburgh in 2019. Okay. It was this crazy thing where like, so it's up in Edinburgh and I was like teching and doing bits of work here and there. Then I go back to my accommodation, just wrote Outlier in the evenings.
Yeah, great.
And so like the script sort of developed in isolation a little bit. So coming back to the script during COVID times was like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. And I think everything sort of fell into place in the weird little gaps, because Ben Atterbury was like, yeah, we want to co-produce the show and make it happen. Yeah. We got Liz Council, our producer, involved around the same time. We sort of started like, okay, here we go. And then, okay, nothing is happening now with COVID. Then like in the gaps, so like Jenny met with...
when did Jenny get involved then?
Jenny got involved at that R&D stage.
Okay, great.
Yeah, in 2019. So the band and I did a show at the Tobacco Factory, which is like just the music, and it was like one scene from Outlier, I think, that I'd written, and other than that, it was just our collaboration, so our poems and songs. We invited a load of people to get investors, like, come and see us before. At the time, I worked at Tobacco Factory, so I managed to like just slide into an empty space.
Well done.
Really jammy. You had to be jammy in this business. Like, could
I please maybe just for an hour borrow the space?
Like, what is it? Hello. So and Jenny came to that. We invited Jenny and Ben both to that, and then they were like, "Yes, we want to do it."
Great.
But then obviously everything shut down, and we couldn't do shows in the studio because of close proximity. So Jenny had a meeting with Tom Morris, who was artistic director at the time, at Bristol Vic, and because like Jenny, Maz, and I had been chatting. It's like, how do we do this? We could do it in the foyer. We could do it like in the main house, like behind the iron, was another option that we explored.
People sat on the stage.
And then I can't remember, like, I think we all came to the same thing at the same time. We were like, we'd not just do it in the main house.
Yeah, if we're going to do it on the stage, we might as well.
Is that crazy? We were like, no, it's good. And like, everyone was like, yeah, it's good. So then Jenny went into a meeting with Tom Morris. Yeah. And Tom had seen the recording of that scratch version. Great. And he was like, okay. So and then
amazing.
It was like, go. It's bigger than we realised it was going to be. And then when we went into rehearsals for that version, it was a whole other world because we couldn't touch each other. Like I see photos from that rehearsal period, and we were like, we had to have a COVID officer. Lots of strangeness, but in a weird way, I think it meant that the show achieved more and was bigger than we ever expected it to be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because of those like strange things that came into play over that time. And it was the first piece of new writing on the main stage post pandemic, because they brought in what was the name of that show? The mountain climbing one.
Into the Void.
Into the Void. That's so that started. That was the first show back after a dark period, and then Outlier was immediately after that.
Yeah, and then that was your first show. Was the first show when I first started.
Really?
So I started October 2021.
Wow.
And that was your was the first show.
Yeah,
that's and I'm like,
you're Andy's biggest inspiration.
I'm like, how'd you do all this? What? It's a theatre.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, in 2021, and then we came back in 2022.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's really cool.
And is that show like, because I know that this might be top secret, so we can cut this out. But you're developing a new show with Jacopo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And is that, I guess, at the core of all of your work? Like, what is the core of all your work? Is that going to be similar sort of vibes with this new show, or is it something like entirely different? Are you allowed to tell us?
Yeah, I don't think there's no privacy. You're
like, it's my show. I can do what I
want. So I'm developing a show called Badgers. It's not with the whole band, so it's with Maz and Joe and Luke, who's not in Outlier, but is in Jacobo.
Great.
Because the band lineup has shifted a bit. And I think something that made Outlier quite special is that, like, the band are non-actors.
Yeah.
Like, they all perform, but they're themselves.
Yeah.
Which also means they have other jobs.
Yeah.
And Owen, our drummer, was like, I'm too busy to do another show, and also that's not my world.
I also really love. Was it Owen and Outlier?
Yeah,
I really loved the way like they were like reading the script off their phone, and was just like, I love it. Felt very just honest and very like you weren't trying to hide anything, which I really loved.
Yeah,
so,
it just felt like, and like Jenny was such a huge part of that, of course. Just being really honest felt important. Yeah, if anybody was like made to do acting, it just wouldn't play the same.
Yeah,
there's going tangent, but well, yes and no, because I think it's funny. Right, you said about you also question about Cora Bell's work, but there's a similarity of that in Colour of Dinosaurs because of how the performers and having. I mean, I love that show so much, and because I like dinosaurs, but because of the sincerity and truthfulness, because of not everyone on that stage is a performer, but not everybody is a paleontologist, and not everybody, not everybody is a musician, and not everybody, you know what I mean? And so, but everybody is doing something as part of the whole, and not everyone's an actor, and everyone's very open and honest about that, because that's also part of everyone's sort of like opening treaties as well, which is that sincerity and honesty, which I just love. And that's because that happens in Colour of Dinosaurs,
big time,
which you wrote.
And I think I just love like vulnerability, and that sincerity that just can't be faked. And it's opening up space and allowing people to bring themselves into it in whatever way feels comfortable for them. Because with the Colour of Dinosaurs, which again is such a like big part of my heart, and I feel like such a special show because of what everyone brings to it. Because they're invited, including people who are actors who often are used to being like, okay, I've got to perform in this way. It's like, okay, but let's like tap into that a little bit and find the kernel of who you are, and it's okay to bring that forwards. It's encouraged to bring that forwards, because as an audience member, as someone who like goes to see so many shows, I love it when you see that little glimmer.
Realism.
Even if it is someone playing a character, they found that thing that links to them in a real human way.
Agreed.
So with the Colour of Dinosaurs and writing that and being in like a writer in the room and observing how these relationships were developing naturally, there were like parts of the script where it was an invitation rather than an instruction. So for example, I spoke a lot to each of them about what is it and your relationship to melanin, which is part of the show, that feels unique to you in your words. And I would like write something around that. So I'd begin writing like lyrics to a song, so like Victoria's song, different voices, different colours. I began that, and it's like, okay, how do we encapture that in this live setting? Because I don't want to like write about who you are, and then you have to learn that and deliver it. It needs to be you. And there's a point at which Lloyd is asked about his albinism and like, how does that feel for you? And I was like, it doesn't feel right for me to write how Lloyd feels about this. So instead I wrote in the stage directions, like Lloyd plays on his clarinet a melody that is how he feels about his albinism. And that was it. And that as an offer to the room allows people to kind of delve in without going, oh, how do I write a big lofty thing about how I feel about this? It's like everybody experiences the world differently.
And you're bringing it to Lloyd in his language as well, because obviously he's a musician. And it was like, I love that moment, that it was just so, like you say, like honest and unforced, because he's an incredible musician. So that was great.
Victoria's segment was probably one of my favourite bits of theatre, I think. That sits rent free in my head.
It's so magical.
It's a very magical piece of theatre. I thought it was very beautiful.
Just made by lots of very lovely people.
They're all wonderful humans.
Really
You've been quite lucky with like lovely people rooms.
Definitely.
I mean, you can't say no. You can't be like, everyone's horrible.
Do you? Actually, that's a good random. That's a question that I know. Here's a question then. Do you find them? Do they find you? Does it sometimes be sort of like serendipitous? And
so with I think like with the Colour of Dinosaurs, that came about because Dom was my vocal coach for Outlier.
Oh,
wow. I
Great.
did not know that one.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So Dom like taught me to shout without ruining my voice.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and like, you know, it is like
Yeah.
Dom knows Liz Council, who's our producer.
Right.
So Liz put him into
Okay.
that, all
Yeah,
these
yeah.
things.
just naturally.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone just sort of blends together.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I met Jackable through like watching a gig and going and saying hi, and I just like gradually sort of collecting people.
Very
and,
organic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what I really love as well, I'm sure you guys are the same, is like theatre makers is finding. I love facilitating space and bringing people together who I think are going to work well together. It's like the best.
Yeah.
And with Badgers, which is the new show, so we brought in Harry, who was in The Colour of Dinosaurs.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we have like new sort of sound worlds that we're exploring. So like bring in Harry because Harry's lush.
Yeah.
And then we brought in Bethany Roberts, who is like a folk musician, and she did like a spoken word show with my friend Beth, who used to run Milk Poetry with me. So it's like, you from here, you from here, let's all get together. And just really fortunate that everyone is lovely. Like I feel really lucky that I've worked with such nice, generous people who are so talented as well.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so nice to be in rooms where everyone's just excited to make together.
I wonder if also, because you do a lot of mentoring, right? And how long have you been mentoring? Has that been quite a new thing or an older thing?
So I think I've only really started calling it that the last couple of years.
Okay.
But because I have run events and run like workshops and things like that, I've kind of unofficially been doing that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm very much like, yes, come and let's talk about what it is that you want to do and achieve. But in a more official sense, in a couple of years.
So I wonder if that's something that has given you like quite a unique skill set to be able to be like, actually, let's put these people together and I can put myself in with those people as well. Like maybe that's quite a strong thing to do with it. Yeah.
And also like, because like I was saying, growing up I was so lonely and it felt like it was just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've gone through life a lot, for better or worse, feeling like a bit of an outsider.
Yeah.
And so when I find those people that I connect with and I'm like, you're great and I think you would get on with this person, I really love just bringing people together.
Yeah.
And it just brings me such great joy.
Yeah.
And with mentoring, I think I love that one-on-one relationship where you get to know somebody and what they are hoping to bring, what they're hoping to do, and like lifting them up and celebrating them on their journey, and, like taking that time to go like, well, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Like, let's just acknowledge that and then move through. And I love sort of matchmaking.
Yeah.
Go like, oh, you're great. And there is this person who does this work that you could really be great with. Yeah. And I don't have to be part of that relationship.
Yeah, but I'm just going to gently encourage you over there and you can just play and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So is that your favourite thing you'd say about mentoring, is being able to do that?
I think so, yeah. And just like watching people grow and realise what they do is valid.
Yeah.
I think that's a really big part of it, is like...
Especially as artists, right? Because so often, I know I've found this, that I just kind of like go, oh, why would anyone want to listen to me? Or like, why would they want to work with me? And et cetera, et cetera. So I guess, like, is that your favourite part about mentoring? And like, I guess also like, why do you feel like mentoring is important as well?
I think a big part of it is making people feel like they're being listened to and taken seriously. Yeah. I think a big sort of chip on my shoulder as a teenager, I think lots of teenagers have this, is that I wasn't being taken seriously with what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us go like, oh, I'm doing this rubbish, it's just rubbish, whatever. And like being able to sort of catch that instinct and go like, okay, I understand that. I'm not going to shame you for doing that. Yeah. But let's like go, okay, but you've been brought to this place where you want to make something using this.
Yeah.
Like form, medium, whatever. Yeah. So let's really like explore that and say like, well done. Yeah. Whatever it is that you're planning on doing, whether you want to do this as a career or it's something that really feeds you as part of lots of other things in your life, like that's an amazing journey. So it's like about slowing down and taking that time to not like rush through or bluster through or apologize for yourself and your ambition, just like sit in that and like explore the questions. And it's work that can be really tricky, because when the thing that you're up against is someone's
like core beliefs,
like core beliefs and self-doubt. It's the hardest thing, because it's like with everybody in our lives, right, there are people who are going to, we see everything magical about them, and they are incapable of seeing it about themselves. It's the hardest thing. Whenever I go into like school settings and I see that over and over again, I say to teachers like, oh, imagine if your magic power was to give everybody the ability to see the thing that makes them special, unique and special. That would be the best magic power in the world. And I think mentoring is the closest you can get to that.
Agreed.
Just like spending that time, that quality time with someone to go like, look at this thing you made. Or like, whoa, that thing you just said, that's really cool. And that's something, that I just love. And when it's really flowing, doesn't feel like work. I can sit with someone and talk about their story or show idea, or their poem, and I'd be like, oh, and this and this and this. And at the end of the session, I'd be like, that was really, really helpful. And I was like, I just feel like I just chatted to you. It's like the best thing in the
I
world.
get to have a chat with cool people all the time, and that's why I love mentoring.
Like, lucky.
No, I'm the same. I do creative access PAing, and it's exactly the same thing of getting to be like, you're amazing. Like, let's make this happen. Let's do these things. So completely agree.
That's it's magical,
amazing.
man.
What would you say is let's go two parts to this one. So what's the easiest thing about being a creative in the Southwest?
I think it is that it's the people that you connect with. And also I really love it here. Like I grew up in Devon. It was a hard time, but I've mended a lot of that through the work that I've made. And so I really love to advocate for the Southwest. I think it's a really great place to create. I think it's a place that has so many different sides and so many different people. So I think like the Southwest as a whole is something that influences my work in so many ways, and I want to fight for it. And I think for me, something that really helps me make work is this like, I don't know if it's injustice, but this thing of like, you need to see how great this is. And I think being here helps with that. Being able to just like within a few minutes, like half an hour, like, oh, suddenly countryside, and then I'm back in the city, and then the sea, then I'm back in the city. And like being able to have that freedom of movement is really great. And I think there's just so many great creatives here and so many good people making things happen with very little resource, which is always really inspiring as well.
And also I would say across all of, like, I think often when we think of the Southwest, we think of Bristol or we think of Plymouth. And actually there's so many great, there's not as many as there should be, but they're like Exeter, and like there's loads of really great places that do have all those things. And I think there's a lot of really great work that gets made in the Southwest. I agree. And I think it's, I mean, obviously we started this podcast to highlight people in the Southwest. So I completely agree with you that there's lots of great stuff here. And I guess, so when did you come to Bristol? Like, what was that decision? Why were you like Bristol and not somewhere else?
I came to Bristol in 2014, and so lots of friends of mine had come to university in Bristol.
Cool.
So I had visited Bristol a lot from Devon, so it just felt like a city that I really wanted to be in. Also, let's be honest, I loved skins.
Oh, I don't think it's the best advert for Bristol, but it was really cool.
When you're a teenager.
It was we were like,
access to drugs.
I want to be like that. I watch it now and I'm like, oh no. But
I love meeting the people who, and I include my wife on this, who've auditioned for that show. It's funny.
What a historical point of Bristol.
And like growing up as well, I really loved trip hop music.
Oh, really?
Great. So like that was a big draw to me as well, was the Bristol music scene. So it felt like the place that I really wanted to be. It was like this creative artistic place, and every time I visited I was like, whoa,
shiny and amazing.
What a place to be. And so the way that kind of happened when I did move, which is like a big part of the story of Outlier in the second act, is so I was in this like very unhealthy relationship with my ex who started taking heroin, and I was like in this cycle of like breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, blowing up my life, like losing touch with loads of friends, getting kicked out of college twice, signing on, spending all night with my boyfriend at the time, so missing my appointments to the job centre, and just like everything was a mess.
Yeah.
And
also, you were so young.
Yeah, I was young,
like little baby.
Yeah, like doing the show, doing Outline made me reflect on that so much. Like when I was, when you're a teenager, you're like, oh, I should be able to deal with this.
Yeah,
this is the thing.
No,
it's fine.
Yeah,
but of course not.
No, you're a child.
Literally. And the route out, it felt like, was moving away.
Yeah,
like, and I do lots of work with people who've been in similar situations, or addicts as well. And it really feels as though sometimes you just need to move. Yeah, geographically, be in a different
reinvent
place.
Yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And Bristol felt like the place to do that. I knew a couple of people in Bristol at that point, not many. But this job came up in tobacco factory theatres.
Oh, so that literally was what?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so I was like, I need to leave Devon.
Yeah. And that felt like a safety.
And this job came up at Tobacco Factory, and I was already working. I worked in the box office at Exeter Northcote Theatre and at Theatre Royal, Plymouth. I won the box office there as well.
Yeah, great.
So I already had some box office experience. And that job was there. And I was like, I'm just going to apply. Yeah, great. Give it a go. And I got it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm moving to Bristol.
The world was like, off you go.
Yeah, literally. So I was like, wow. Get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Come to Bristol. And I'm still here.
Amazing.
11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
So, second part to the question. What would you say the hardest part of working in the Southwest?
It is that lack of resources, lack of jobs, lack of opportunity.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's not enough. There's so much talent here, so much skill here, and just not enough jobs to go around. That's the brunt of it. And it's like, I'm full-time freelance, and I kind of jumped into that kind of like almost accidentally, because I was working in different places. Yeah, I worked at Tobacco Factory for ages, and I worked at the Watershed as an usher, while also kind of building my creative career. And then I decided to go to university when I was 25. Yeah, I was like, I never thought I would go to university, but I'll try it. And I've got this, like, I don't have the academic stuff because I didn't finish college, but I really loved film. Yeah, and I have this like creative career, so I can write. So I wrote like a letter to UE being like, I don't have this, but I have done this for the last few years, and I'd love to come and study. So I moved into doing that at UE. I did film studies at UE. Amazing. Which was also disrupted by COVID. My final year of university was entirely online.
You were doing a lot at that time then. You were busy.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
I stayed busy, man. So yeah, and then after that, and like, because I'm poor, I got like the full maintenance loan and all that stuff. So I had that like money giving me a float over university times. And I just always had to save and scrimp. I'm used to doing that and living without much money. And then after I finished university, I just carried on being freelance. So I was like, okay,
I mean, that's a pretty amazing feat overall to stay freelance as an artist. Yeah. Because it is crazy out here. And like, I think, you should be really proud of that.
Thank you.
Like, that's amazing.
Thanks. It's kind of bonkers when I think about it.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it too much. Otherwise I go like,
but you're right. Like, there isn't and I would raise you that it's not just the Southwest, it's the entire country. And without getting into a huge political soapbox, it's kind of a weird time because there's just not enough funding to support enough work. Like, it feels like it's all just been shrinking for so long. Yeah. Which is why I'm always so, like, especially now, amazed when people manage to do it. Like, because it's terrifying. Like, I find it really difficult to just purely just do the artistry without any sort of other safety net. Yeah. But yeah, I think, I completely agree. And I don't really know when that's going to change, or,
me neither. Yeah.
But yeah, you're completely right. I feel like that's a bigger conversation.
Well, it's one, but it's also one that comes up a lot. I mean, because like every single person who comes on this show,
it's sort like of fund theatre, fund, and not just theatre, just the arts in general. Like, I mean, I guess this isn't a question we wrote in the email, but like, do you have any? It's probably just funding from the government, but do you have any thoughts on like how we God, that's such a big question. That's a horrible question to
It's
ask
a big
someone.
question, isn't it? But I think like a big thing and something that does keep me afloat as a freelancer, like I couldn't be just a freelance writer.
Yeah.
I don't have family money,
No,
which is what you need to do that,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like the best writers I know aren't just writers.
Nope.
You know?
No.
Or like just a full-time poet.
Yeah.
Also not really a thing.
Yeah.
So you come for money.
Yeah.
But I do lots of workshopping, which I mean like working with community groups.
Yeah.
Where there's like different pots of like money.
Mm.
And I think a big part of what would hopefully help kind of justify more funding for the arts from the government is how transformative art can be in so many ways.
Could not agree more.
Like, and when I was working at TRP as well as associate director there, I saw it really firsthand because they've got Our Space, which is working with people, like working in prisons.
Yes.
Working with people with multiple difficulties, and also Funky Llama, so working with people with like special needs. And it's like this work transforms culture, transforms community, transforms lives. Mm-hmm. It's not just like getting in a room and prattling about with a feather boa.
No.
Like this is so confidence building, and it does like shift how we all exist. Yeah. It like the amount of people that I've worked with, and also working in like pupil referral units as well, with like kids who've been kicked out of school and basically told like, oh no, you're
just written off. Yeah, kids written off. Yeah.
When you go into that kind of space with these sorts of people and see the confidence that blooms, see how seeing like people believe in them and encourage them to make that work, and that their voices are valid, whatever it is they want to make, can change their lives. Like there are people who, you know, have been through the justice system, who are intentionally shy or like really struggle to fit into these like really rigid boxes that we're supposed to fit into, come to like a drama workshop and return every week and then stand on a stage and deliver a monologue. Yeah. And it's like, whoa. Yeah. And then it's like this person now has a job.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily lead it. Like, I think this is a misconception, is it's like, and maybe not, like, because I think we all know this, but in terms of like, if you come to a drama class, doesn't mean everyone's going to become an actor, but it feeds like the amount of people in offices that, like, I've got a lot of friends who have now moved away from acting and all of that into offices, and people are amazed that they can like talk to people. Yeah. And it's just that, like, those skills that are so transferable, and they just impact society and everyone in like a really positive way. Yeah. Yeah. So I couldn't agree more.
It's transformative, man. It's magical.
It's amazing.
And yeah, I think often it gets seen, like art gets seen as a luxury. It's the whole like Audre Lorde thing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and poetry is not a luxury.
Yeah.
It changes culture. It changes the world. Yeah. It's not just like, oh yeah, nice people. It's really important work. Yeah. And it needs to continue on, because even seeing a show can change a life.
And is that something, because you were saying you used to go and see shows, like, is that something that had a big impact on you? Like, when did you first discover like poetry and
like theatre and stuff? I just, because I don't come from like a theatre going family.
No, me neither.
I don't like it. My mum doesn't really like theatre at all. She's like,
no, my dad's the same. He's like, oh, boring.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, but neither of my parents are into theatre really. They're into like other things, they're into music and stuff. But my aunt was quite into theatre, and my first sort of experiences of theatre outside of watching YouTube bootlegs, that were at the time shot so badly, was accompanying my aunt to the theatre, because my aunt is disabled, and so I would act as her carer, so I could get a free ticket to go and see shows, which is like, again, jamming,
providing access by providing access.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Mutual access.
So she took me to some shows, and then I benefited massively from A Night Less Ordinary. Do you remember that scheme?
No.
So that was a scheme from like the 2010s, sort of early 2010s. It was a government scheme, government-funded scheme.
Come on,
for under 25s. For under 25s to get like £5 tickets to see shows.
No, yes. I didn't realise that what it was called, but yes. Yeah.
So I used those things.
Amazing.
And I would just go and see stuff. I remember something that really stuck with me was seeing headlong 6 characters in search of an author at Theatre Royal Plymouth.
Incredible.
Yeah, I must have been like 16,
Amazing.
17 maybe, with an like this ordinary card and being like, woof, this is amazing.
Like,
how did they do this?
Yeah.
And I loved that kind of heightenedness of it. And I think
amazing.
I was like quite a closed, quiet kid, but with so much in my head. I didn't know how to get that out.
Yeah.
And so coming to shows and going to gigs really helped sort of make me go, oh, this is how you can do it. So, and I think something I like about myself is that I love so much. Like, I love musicals. I love like proper old school musicals, largely thanks to my grandma and like watching tapes at her house.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm really comfortable like in that musical theatre world, and I love it. But also I love like pretty horrible little gig spaces where everyone's cramped in and
Love
like
that.
someone's bleeding over there and like
Yeah.
all of that stuff kind of feeds in. And I think you can see that in Outlier. I think those things
100%.
of like this heightened theatricality and camp and like, you know, growing up in Devon, like the people that I did connect with was like queer community in Plymouth. And so I grabbed like cabaret and capness and drag and stuff and like big
all the
bombast.
amazingness. Yeah.
I take that and I take musical theatre and I take like gigging and like weird films and bring it all together. And that's like the package of what I love, and all the different ways we can be creative I think are really yummy.
And if you had any advice for little Mal or like someone like little Mal now, what would that be?
I think,
and that can be any sort of advice: life advice, poetry advice, theatre advice.
Something that's really nice through doing that facilitation work that I do is I meet so many young people and I see so much of myself in some of them and I'm like, it's really difficult to tell a young person like, just keep going, everything will be okay. Because if someone said that to me as a teenager,
you're like, the world's on fire, like we're not.
Their lives are different as well, like come on. But I think like just grabbing opportunities where they come, just go for it and do it. Something that I often say to teenagers specifically when I'm doing writing workshops, poetry stuff, and it comes to the end of a session and it's like, it's time to share what you've done. I always say to them, like, you're not going to regret having shared this, but you might regret not sharing it in this space with these people. And I think that's a big thing. Like, as a young person, I often talked myself out of applying for things. I was like, oh, it's not for me. And now I'm like in my mid-30s, and every time an opportunity comes up, it's like for young emerging creatives of age below 30, and I'm like, oh man, there's so many of those things that I didn't apply to as a young person.
I agree,
because I was like in my head,
I'm not good enough, or it's not for me. I 100% agree. So I think that just like grab any opportunity, give it a go every time, just try it out. Because by not getting it or trying it and not doing it very well, like you learn by failing, right? But I also get that it's terrifying to put yourself out there, like
Also, as you get older, you'll discover the industry has an age problem, and as you get into your 40s, the window of opportunity gets narrower and narrower.
But
anyway,
but it's not closed.
Oh no, it's not closed at all. No, not at all. That's a great. Well, I just wanted to circle back to that because that is a lovely piece of advice. Actually, sort of like just keep going. It will get, it will be okay. And the regretting not doing something, overdoing something is something that 100%. I return to based off living history. That's the lesson.
Oh, really?
After living history exercise from East 15, that's something I learned over the years as a creative, and that has absolutely informed my acting. Is and my decision making as an actor is doing something, leading on impulse and going on impulse. Because the CCTV in my head was preventing me from doing stuff. The fear because I was like,
what will people think? Yeah.
Whereas sort of like, or also like, oh, maybe this isn't what they want to see.
Yeah.
And then regretting not doing it.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, that was like me several years, like 6 or 7 years ago. As an actor now, having learned all of that, it's very different. But,
and it's funny though, because that instinct can come back any time.
Yeah,
exactly.
At any age.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can fight past it and be like, oh, I've passed that. And then suddenly in a certain space, it's like, it comes back again.
I agree.
And it's being aware of that, I guess, and kind of honouring that and going like, how do you
catch that before it gets too intense as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Lovely piece of advice. Thank you. So, so I think we got to the bit where it's that time. So we're going to get to the bit now where we're going to ask you for your absolute scene. Yeah. That sort of that thing from a theatre play or a piece of music or even a novel or a TV show or a movie. That scene that has either inspired you or you reach for in the darkest steps of writer's block or of inspiration or something that just keeps you going through your inspirational and your creative process. So Mal, what is your absolute scene?
Absolute scene. This is such a good question. You could do a whole podcast with just multiple scenes.
Could not agree more.
I was like, when you first emailed me and asked me to do it, the first thing I was like, what's my absolute scene? So I've been thinking about it for ages. It's changed over time. And I was like, can I do 2? Can I do 3? Like, no, I'm going to do 1.
Oh, okay.
When I first had the idea of doing this podcast, that was when I was brainstorming it, that was one of the possibilities of just doing what you've just sort of like described.
Yeah.
But then I sort of like, and then when we got together. But
also I was like, I'm inherently interested in all the people we have going on, so I'd like to ask
which was a great suggestion. But one potential brainstorming idea was to just do exactly what you suggested.
So. You could do a special. All scenes.
All possibilities.
But my absolute scene is the cross-eyed and painless number from Stop Making Sense, which is the Talking Heads concert movie directed by Jonathan Demme, who directed Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yes.
So have you seen Stop Making Sense?
No.
Talk to us about this.
So Stop Making Sense is a concert movie. It's Talking Heads at their prime. It was shot over, I think, 2 nights at the Palaeontologists Theatre in New York.
Yeah.
And it is just a band who are doing so much and are so tight and so having so much fun and it's so curated. Like that film is really magical because it's just like pure creative cohesion. Like everyone is so together. And a lot of like concert movies and gig movies, they're just quite static.
Yeah.
But because Jonathan Demme was directing it and it was so much David Byrne, who's like the front man of Talking Heads, like his vision, and he's such a creative brain, it's just bonkers. It's the thing that has like the big suit, which you might have seen, like
yes, yeah, I know the one.
So he moves and dances, and the whole this constant movement on stage. Everyone's dancing. People come in. I've written like an essay about Stop Making Sense, and specifically a scene where David Byrne like dances with a lamppost. But I've picked for this my absolute scene, Cross-Eyed and Painless, because that is the scene that concludes the film. So it's the last song that they perform. And so much of this scene is magical because it really encapsulates like the best, I think, of cinema, the best of music, the best of live performance, the best of collaboration. Yeah. And throughout the film, like its focus is on different band members and like people come out, and especially on David Byrne because he's such an incredible performer. He's so strange, like, and he really just indulges in that strangeness. He just moves in the way that you can tell his instinctive, like if we were all babies,
it's that thing we were talking about.
Yeah. If we were all babies, like, and we could access that baby brain at any point, you know, because babies are just like, oh, what's this? But like as we get older, we like push that down. It's like, no, I have to act normally. But he's able to just like access that baby curiosity about his body and movement and things around him. He's like really alien in that way. But in Cross-Eyed and Painless, it's the first time you see the audience.
Right.
So you see like the edge of them in certain scenes, but mostly it's focused on the movement on stage.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like that final scene, that final song where you can see everyone on stage. Like there are certain close-ups of each individual performer, and they're so sweaty, and you can see they're like the adrenaline is pumping, partly because the show's gone so well, but partly because they know it's almost over.
Yeah.
And you know that feeling when you're in the play,
Yeah.
and you get to the last scene, and there's part of you that's like, yeah, we did it.
It's
done. And so much joy, and like you can see everyone's enjoying each other's performances. They're like looking around, and like sweat is flying. The music is great. And then, for the first time in the whole film, it cuts to the audience in like different points of the theatre, and everyone is on their feet, everyone's dancing.
Amazing.
It's such a mix of different races, different ages.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Like humanity together.
just enjoying
Wow.
music and enjoying this liveness.
Amazing.
And so often, like recording music, like filming a band, it loses something. It just like instinctually, like it is really difficult to contain how exciting that is. But there's something that happens with Stop Making Sense where it feels like you're there. And I think that point when suddenly the audience is shown, it's like, and that's me too. I'm watching this and I'm having a great time. And like that little kid who's dancing, and like, there's just something so magical about the whole film. But that conclusion of the film and the way that the camera really like indulges in all the people on stage and then lets us see the entire, like all of these people who came together. It's so well made.
Amazing.
It's
So
gorgeous.
it's to do with like how it's been produced and the angles and how it's been directed. Like that is what is like amazing about it.
And it's so, I think it's funny because I'm exploring like liveness at the moment a lot in Badgers, because Badgers is largely about how there are some things we just can't capture and contain. Like some things just need to exist in the moment. It's really difficult, like with all the advances that we make, like capturing theatre and putting that into cinemas, which is really, really cool. It can be really difficult to like show what liveness feels like in a recorded medium.
Yeah.
But somehow Stop Making Sense does it.
Wow.
And it's just like, wow, this kismet of all these people coming together and just like enjoying each other's talent and just being like, here we go. We're opening this up to you. It's the best.
Like the storytelling of it is just very clear and very real.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't really know what to say to that, but like just, I kind of now need to watch it. I feel like I want to understand what but I think you've described it really well. That sounds fascinating because I often watch theatre recordings. And I would say like watching Outlier was really lovely because I think you captured a lot of that in the way that you were layering. So in Outlier, there's the animations on the back kind of backdrop, right? Yeah. And I think something you did is you layered that over the video so that it was like very present when you're watching it at home. And I think that really helped with that as well, which was really nice.
It's really cool, like because our designer, Rebecca Wood, she is great. Designers are magical.
Our last episode was Katie Sykes and she was here and I was like, your brain is amazing.
I'm so amazed by that because I'm not a very visual person. I'm very like writing-y.
Yeah, fine.
And so to be able to just transform space. And
that's really interesting. Sorry to interrupt. That's really interesting that you say you're not a very visual person because I would say your words are so visual. Like you're so descriptive, but I guess that's more this than like this. But I would say the words you write are very visual and I would say they provoke a lot of visual. So I would argue you're a very visual person.
Thank you. I think writing wise like visuals exist in my head, but I find it hard to like project that into a space in a visual sense, I guess.
Okay.
And I just like Bex, the way Bex kind of sort of went into Bov. And like, she's like, okay, we're going to take out the front rows and put in sofas and all this stuff. But spending lots of times with the rugs and finding the right texture of rug that Chris can project onto to have that like that sense. But then that recorded version of it, and like, how do we take that form that existed in the space of being able to like project onto the arch and onto this rug? How do we translate that onto the screen? And that was massively Jenny and her partner Chris who edited it together to be like, okay, how do we
make that feel alive.
Yeah, and I think they did such a great job. And it had like a bit of a sort of Tracy Beaker vibe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
All these
totally
like doodles
relate.
coming across.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I guess, going back to your absolute scene, I guess it's kind of, that you need to have that strong director, I guess, and probably strong editor, like to like really like take that. And also the camera angles are so important, like close-ups I think are so important with that. And I think that's what, again, sorry to go back to your work, that's what having those close-ups with the animation, like you got all senses of what the piece was, which was really nice. So yeah, I guess it's that translation of that through the director's eyes that like helps with that
understanding of the material, isn't it? It's so you can feel it. When everyone gets it, you can really feel it. And what you just said about close-ups as well, it's interesting because I went to see Merrily We Roll Along the other day, because there was like a Broadway version of it last year with Daniel Radcliffe in, and Jonathan Groff, Lindsay Mendez, and they like did a pro shoot of it, and that pro shot was in cinema, so I went to see that in the cinema because I love a bit of Sondheim. And there's so many close-ups of the actors. It's like, this is really, really cool. You don't get to see this because you're sat so far away from them. So yeah, being able to see close-ups of performers on stage is like quite new still. But then like that film is like 80s, but like that sense of being close to people when they're experiencing something live, I think it's really really cool and unique. Like, whoa, there's something, I guess again it comes down to that vulnerability, because it's like the complicity of us in this space of like, I know that you're not this person, I know that you're performing, and I now can see really really close in your face like the real person and how that real person connects to this character that you're playing. Like, I'm going to pretend, you're going to pretend, we're going to do that together. I think that's like real magic. It's interesting because I really liked watching Merrily We Roll Along, because the performances were great. It's not a great musical, but they made it great. That's what's interesting too, because like that musical flopped when it first was staged, and this version worked. It's like, the intervening time. But it was a bit too shiny because they definitely did pickups. And I think like there were parts of, like, I loved seeing people's faces so close up. I thought Daniel Radcliffe was amazing.
He's
so
great. Really
I love him.
I love
But
him.
also, we often hold him to the standards when he was a child as well. Like, I think actually he's made some really clever choices in terms of what he's done.
100%.
Yeah, and I think he's
fully agree with you.
Yeah, he was great. I really recommend watching it. I'm sure it'll come out on some kind of streaming thing. But yeah, sometimes it was too shiny. And also sometimes it felt like they tried to remove it from like theatrical language in a way that I didn't want. Because it's like, I like it when I go and see a play that's been filmed and there's an intermission. Because I think films should have intermissions anyway.
It's so long. Wicked is so long. Love Wicked, but so long.
Give me a little break so I'm ready to lose. But also they didn't show the curtain call.
Oh,
really?
That's so sad.
Weird.
But
So it's
cheated.
Like, I want to see it. Because like the musical ends and then it's just credits. And it's like, you can hear the curtain call because you can hear everyone clapping and like the rhythms of the curtain call. They don't show it to you. It's like, that's a weird choice. And it feels like they're doing that to try and convince people that it's a film and not a show. It's like,
But I've come to see a show.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That's so interesting.
Okay.
But also that like perfection thing. Sorry, I know we're
No, carry on,
rounding on
please.
now.
We'll let you go soon.
But something that I really love about Stop Making Sense, and another part of that final scene is that they, it was shot over 2 nights, and clearly everybody who was invited, like everyone who bought a ticket, knew that they were coming to a recording. And so there are like the camera angle changes, and you can see the cameraman on stage, like right up in someone's face.
So they don't try and hide it.
They don't try and hide it.
Love that.
It's like you can see that this is, and like some of those close-up shots are like so shaky and dodgy.
Yeah.
They're filming from over there and they're just zoomed in, so it's like, and suddenly
so you're getting
like Chris
behind the
Francis'
scenes.
face is completely hidden by a bass guitar in front of him, and it's like it just
it's
makes you feel even
janky
more
in
part
an
of it.
honest way.
That's interesting.
And what's really cool is like at the very end they bring out everybody, like all the film crew except the ones at the back who are filming from the back. So they like a third car crew, and all the crew come out and they're like all blacks, and I just love those moments.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the picture of Dorian Gray, the Sarah Snook one?
No.
So that was like one of, big like glitzy kind of thing. It's like big screen, and you're watching the screen most of the time. But because it was like all her playing all the characters, and lots of cameras coming on and like catching her face and stuff. And it was just really cool to see the crew on stage for the curtain call, to really acknowledge that this is like
That's
probably
nice.
takes a
They're
village.
working so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
I love those moments where
Yeah.
you see everything that.
Everyone together.
Yeah.
Before you go, I'd like to ask my final question, which is, if there was one question you wish people would ask you, what would it be?
I think I would like someone to ask me, do you want to make a film?
Ooh, interesting. Because you've been through so many different mediums. Because I found it really hard to like narrow down all the things you've done.
Yeah.
So film.
Yeah, I would love to make a film.
But you're writing for some TV stuff at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So how is that different?
It's a whole other world.
Yeah, okay.
Whole other language.
Yeah, okay, fine.
It's like, whoa.
Amazing.
So only that. And actually one of the things, so I had like a mentor, because I was a mentored writer for the Channel 4 screenwriting.
Yeah, great.
And she said to me, in a nice way, she was like, I don't know if you're a TV writer, I think you're a film writer. I was like, okay.
I mean, I guess you studied film as well, right?
Yeah.
So you understand that medium really
And
well.
she was saying it's a real like singular thing. Like you'll know this as a filmmaker. Like with TV, a lot of the time you're kind of writing within like certain formats and have to touch on certain things. But film can be much more singular as a vision, and like the sort of references. She was like, "Oh, who do you like? What things do you like?" And I love Nathan Fielder. Like watching the rehearsal for me, I was like, "Oh my god, I can do that!" And I love David Lynch, obviously, because I'm one of those.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a
like-
reason it's good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I like weirdness, and I like vision, and like I love Arnold's films. So yeah, just like I think there's real connection between poetry and cinema.
Yeah.
And so I really want to make a film.
I don't think it's going to be long before someone asks you that question.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're manifesting it. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And I guess we say goodbye.
Yes.
It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bye.
Great show.